Keynote by Professor Kristian Zarb Adami.
Hi, so my name is Zarb Adami. I'm a professor at the University of Malta, and I'm also a research associate affiliate at the University of Oxford. I'm by training an astronomer. I mainly design telescopes, and what I'm going to tell you about today in these 10 minutes is my voyage from basically astronomy all the way to aging at home. And this company that I set up in 2018, 2009 is merely a reflection of a midlife crisis gone wrong. So I was basically stuck at home doing astronomy when something small like COVID hit. We weren't allowed to go to our telescopes anymore. So I started playing around with common devices that we found at home to try and pick up what I believe is now going to be the future of aging. So from aging at hospitals and old people's homes to aging in your own home. But it all started in 1967, okay, which is when Jocelyn Bell Burnell, okay, discovered what is known as a rotating star, which is a pulsar. This, okay, is a star which forms from a collapse of a larger star. And one of the most interesting things about this, okay, is that it rotates with a very particular frequency. Okay, and this was, in fact, the first mistake that astronomers made with the detection of extraterrestrial life. It was first labeled as little green men by Jocelyn. Okay, she was controversially not awarded the Nobel Prize by the King of Sweden because she was a woman at the time in 1967. But what you can see, right, is that the discovery of this signal, which is a repeated signal, okay, in very noisy and very loud data. When you look up at the sky with your naked eye, you cannot see these repeating patterns. And astronomy has always been about, okay, looking through large data sets, sifting through large data sets, to find patterns in nature, okay, that let us know that there's something different. Just to let you know how patient astronomers are, okay, we've timed these pulsars for 15 years, looking at how these pulsars change, and from this we've managed to detect gravitational waves, okay, and the gravitational wave background. So what I'm here to convince you is that astronomers are very patient people. We have the largest data sets, okay, and we are experts at picking out anomalies and behavior that is repetitive. So turning to this, I'm going to tell you why IO Labs was set up and why we looked at particular at aging. So this is what population densities look like, okay, between the year 1960, okay, to 2060. And you can see on the left-hand side is the United States of America, looking very much in 1960 like the pyramid we were taught at school, okay, to what is now looking at a relatively flat structure across the demographics. You can see Japan, okay, which is the opposite, which is what is going now from what is known as a pyramid, the population pyramid, to the kite, okay? If you look at future demographics, okay, there is a big worry that beyond 2060 and 2100, actually there will start to be a population decline in human population. So IO Labs market was focused, okay, from the ages of 30, okay, all the way up to 65 plus, for the people who want to take care of their parents and to take care of their relatives. We believe in IO Labs, okay, is that the three most important assets you have is first your health, second your family's health, and third your home, okay? As they tell you on the airplane, you know, put your masks on first before you put on your family members. So that's the first message that we'd like to get across. The second thing we looked at, okay, was what are the leading causes of injury across demographics, okay? So you can see in the US, there are up to 14 million falls per year, okay? This is the largest, the second largest cause of unintentional deaths. The first one is car accidents, okay, which we don't really have much control of. In comparison, okay, in Europe, there are 3.8 million of these falls, 1.4 million of which are hospitalized, okay? The earlier you detect, okay, the fall, the more economics you have on intervention in a hospital, okay. Out of one death caused by fall in China, 24 are hospitalized, okay. Each causing a average hospital stay of 9 days, okay. Saving early detection of falls leads to about a saving in the US market alone of $442 million a year. So how do we do this? Okay, what we've designed in IO Labs, and this is what is going to be demonstrated in the Consumer Electronics Show next year in Las Vegas, is a system which is seamlessly placed in your home or your parents' home, okay, which detects, like I told you, anomalous movements, things like fall, and things like patterns that you go through every day. So IO Care devices are, for example, installed above the door to your bathroom, above the door to your kitchen, for example, above the door to your bedroom. What I should say is that IO Labs devices do not take video cameras. Privacy is a very important notion for us, okay? And it just looks at the movement of your things by this radar reflection. So I'm going to show you a demonstration of one of our chaps in the lab. So the video over here is just for, okay, visual confirmation. If I press play, you can see this person walking, standing up, walking around, okay? You'll see that the person falls, so the person detects. This is a very controlled fall, as you can see. We have had many issues trialing this device, getting people to fall for us. They just don't want to fall enough. Okay, and then you can see that he stands up. Okay, we received the alarm that the person has fallen. The person has got up, recovered, and carried on his way. So this would detect something and send an activity monitor. So what do we do? So we have three kinds of devices that we're launching. Okay, one of them is known as the threshold sensor, which is the one that is above your door. One of them is a vitality sensor, okay, which is in your bed or in your furniture, which I'll explain to you why. Okay, and the other is a room sensor, which just basically connects to your Wi-Fi and sees how you walk through your room by looking at the Wi-Fi disturbance in your beam as you walk through it. Okay, the next thing, of course, we do is that we upload everything to the cloud. We have a cloud integration service which will integrate with all your favorite wearables, like Apple Watches, for example, like your Garmin, like other fall detectors, and other things like this. And we believe in the three levels of care. So the first one is yourself, the second one is your family, and the third one is healthcare and community carers. Okay, so this is one of the things that we go through. So the next leading causes, okay, of deaths and things is cardiovascular and pulmonary health. Okay, so what did we do? So I told you, right, as astronomers, we can pick up very weak signals, okay, through our algorithms and through our sensitive devices. So what we did over here, right, is use our devices placed under a bed or in your furniture to pick up the millimetric movements, okay, of your chest. From the movements of your chest, okay, we can pick up the movement of your heart. Okay, so as you can see, the heart is volumetrically moving up and down. Okay, and as this volume moves, it causes a slight vibration in your chest, and we can pick up that chest vibration. So imagine we're doing this from a device placed under your mattress. Okay, so you don't have to wear a watch. You don't have to wear anything. If you forget your watch, if you've gone to bed, you're sleeping, you're turning over. Okay, this looks at it. This is just a setup in the lab. Okay, so this is a setup we did, for example, in a hospital, in a private hospital in Malta. On the left-hand panel are the devices. On the right-hand bottom panel, okay, in the yellow curve is your heart movement. On the top curve is your chest movement. Okay, it is showing it to scale. We've done so. This is what, okay, you would get as a user. Your private physician or your GP, okay, would get a much more detailed look at your health systems. Okay, so we pick up heart rate. We can do it over several minutes, over several hours. We can pick up your chest displacement. From chest displacement, right? Of course, we run AI algorithms, okay, for getting coughs, okay, for picking up things like sleep apnea, like breathing waveform and things. So what we're working on now, which is a sneak preview, okay, and we think within 12 months, we're also going to be able to work out your blood pressure remotely, right? And this is by we're building fluid dynamic models of the heart movement, your velocity, your pulse transit time, and from this doing a transformation from basically your heart movement. In fact, because it's mechanical, right, we can get the size of your heart movement, so we can get the size of your heart, we can get cardiac output, we can get stroke volume, we can get chest movement, chest volume expansion, okay? And the reason why we're rolling these things out, okay, is that because we want to have the richest data sets in the community. We don't want to do class 2, class A, class B medical devices. It's too expensive for a small company like us. We want you to buy these things from Apple for your parents, and we want to have the richest data sets, okay? We are a company that at the end of the day wants to be a rich data set because our dream is to do actual aging diseases, to map things like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, okay? There are papers now in Nature which show that from wearables you can start to predict onset of Parkinson's 7 years earlier. Okay, so this is what the company is. Now, okay, I've always been moderately successful because of the team that I've had behind me, okay? And we have one of the strongest teams, I believe, for a startup company in this space. We've got Justin Stebbing, the top oncologist in the UK, okay? He's the person who keeps us medically, okay, responsible and medically sound, okay? Make sure that I'm not cheating through the trials, okay? We have Michael Tush, okay, who basically designed your autofocus algorithms for your mobile phones, okay? He's very good at basically commercializing IP and putting IP into these devices and helping us with supply chains to make these devices as cheap as possible. Just to give you an idea, we're going to be retailing these at $10 a plug. So there are 3 plugs here, so a set of 3. And then we have Greg Bailey, who's a person who has had several exits to the pharmaceutical company. Okay, he is our drug and therapeutics man. He's the person who's now is a resident in Malta and is part of joined the company about 2 years ago. So what I want to leave you with, okay, is this message that the market for falls, okay, cardiovascular and respiratory, okay, is an approximately $15 billion market in global things, okay? So IO Labs is just trying to use data and trying to democratize the collection of data, okay, to make sure that we have the richest data sets to be able to diagnose these things earlier and keep people at home for longer. Thank you.